Okay, this is about some chord shapes and ideas for playing in um, DGCGCD tuning, which is an unusual tuning, and almost all material on the internet and on YouTube tends to concentrate on just one song by Led Zepp. So let's look at something else for a change. Right. Now, it makes sense because we've got so many G's and C's to be playing the key of C to start with. So let's look at that. And we'll look at the top four strings, just the top four strings to start with. Now, so far we've got, on these four strings, we've got C, G, C, and then a D on the top. Well, that D is a little bit unnecessary at this stage. It's a nice sound, but so if we want an ordinary C with the third being the E, we put our finger on the second fret of this top string to get an E sound, and then when we play the top four strings we get a C chord. Right? Now maybe you don't want the third. Another C would be to put your finger on the fifth fret, which is a G on that string now, and that will give you a more modal sound with just roots and fifths. So we got C, G, C, G, no E, right, no third. So that's a couple of C's to start with. If you want to strum more than the top four strings, then of course you can put the E on the top string and the bottom string and strum the lot. Because then what you've got is everything's G, C or E. So that's another way of doing it. Okay. There are other C's which we'll look at in a minute. There's this kind of C and there's that kind of C. But for now, let's stick with those two. Right. Okay. So that's C. As you know, the fourth chord from C is the F. So to get the F, we need an F note on the top string, on the D string, so D, E, F, that's there, so we put one finger on there, then the C can stay as it is, but we need an A as well for the triad, F, A, C being the triad for F major, so the A goes, we put on the second fret of the G string, so that's the shape, and if we play the C on the bottom as well, we get the F. So we go from C with the third in, if you like, to F, F, or we can go from C modal, no third, to the F. Right. Simplest way to do the G for now is to play what would be an A7 shape on an ordinary tuning, that is with two fingers, one on the fourth string and one on the second string, both on the second fret, and a gap in between with nothing on, and you get that modal sound again because there's no third in there at the moment. So we've now got three chords we can play around with. We've got C, or with the third, F, G. Now, just like you can with your chords in normal tuning, you can play around with the basic chord and you can add stuff on top and extend it, major 7, 9, flattened 7 and so on. Let's just look at some very simple examples of those. Again, just staying on these top four strings. So, that's our C with no third. Now if I keep that note on and then put a B on the G string, then there's the third string on the fourth fret, and play those then, still keeping the open string in between on the second string, we get a nice major 7 C sound. And it's what you can't do on ordinary tuning, or with difficulty anyway, is to have the two, the B and the C, very close together like that. So, of course, if we drop that down half a tone, we can get RC7, RC dominant 7 or flattened 7, whatever you want to call it. So that's the 3rd fret on the 3rd string to give us that. Remember, I've still got the 2nd string open, I'm not playing anything on there, and I've got the G on the top. Come down to F now. Well, you don't need to be a genius to work out that if you drop this A on the 3rd string down half a tone, you're going to get F minor with the A flat. Okay. And then we can do our suspended 4th into the 3rd of C with the E note on the D string. If we drop that E note down to an E flat, then of course we get C minor. C minor. So there's quite a few things on the C's and the F's that you can be playing around with. The joy of this tuning is because you've got that single interval. Helps if it's in tune. You've got that single interval. It's quite easy to play some quite interesting sort of melody. Quite interesting. It's not as hard as it is in some cases for an ordinary tune to play than it is. I'm going to leave you with some picking, just back picking to show you those chords in sequence.